Welcome back to Rise and Shine, the Ability Connection Colorado podcast. My name is Jared, and in about 90 seconds, we're going to do that thing we do, simply inform and inspire. No small task in a world of worries. We bring you people who have been through the proverbial it, and they provide a path, as you'll see today with Amy and her daughter, Allie. Allie diagnosed with early onset or progressive infantile scoliosis. A grim prognosis sometimes, but through the Infantile Scoliosis Outreach Program and Mehta casting, she's not just surviving, but thriving. And we'll talk about the incredible thing that Allie is doing now. And speaking of incredible children, shout out to this kid. Some people say she's no longer with us, but Liv, I got to be honest, you're more with us than some people are who are supposed to be with us, just by simply inspiring the Infantile Scoliosis Outreach Program. And we're surrounded by incredible people. The Higgins family for the 20th year putting on the Straight Shot Sporting Clay event. You can just add a .org there, straightshotsportingclay.org, and learn more how, no matter your skill set, you can get people out of the office and they get a Friday off. You owe that to them. All right. I don't want to be so presumptuous. I am going to be that presumptuous. I mean, people go through the Sunday scaries. They're forking over part of their Sunday, worried about work. How about you give them some Friday and they can come out and do that? And in part, fund the Infantile Scoliosis Outreach Program, as all 5 of our programs are beneficiaries here at Ability Connection Colorado. All right, let's do this. Go into the living room of Amy and Allie, and I believe some other guests.
We have a friend joining us. Yes. I hope that doesn't.
No, my dogs come in and then they're disappointed that I'm not talking to them and they leave. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's a Velcro girl. She's stuck to us. So.
Oh, good. Well, she really adds to the show, and I greatly appreciate it. So
thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it.
There's nothing in the world that we could do to ever repay you, so we're happy to do this.
Oh, I'm so glad we're connected personally, and I feel like, I don't know, like I got emotional when I saw that Allie won. Like I literally started crying and I had to get myself together.
For sure.
Well, I want to get to why Amy just said that they owe you, and we all have a good idea. But now I want to start right now. Allie, what happened? What are they talking about?
One summit. It's a big old cheer competition.
Yeah, she does all-star cheer. And all year they work to get an invitation to the summit, which is the big final nationals. Everybody in the country, hundreds, if not more than 1,000 teams. I think around 1,700 teams. And they all go to Disney World and they compete in different divisions. And it's their goal to even get there. And it's a dream to win. And they did it.
You won?
Yeah.
Nationals. Yes. Like, this is so big.
Yeah, she's got bling, she's got rings to prove it, but she's number 1 in the nation.
Oh, you're just sitting there so modestly, casually petting a dog. You're number 1 in the nation.
In the nation. It's unbelievable. I'm just so proud of you, Allie. Oh my gosh.
I have videos. My mom and I were both there, and my mom is just sobbing, like ugly crying. I'm crying.
I want to share with these surgeons what's happening. Didn't stiffen her spine one bit. It has not done anything negative for Allie.
Heather, I remember back when she was little and just starting the casting process, you referring to Liv's stiffness and other moms talking about, being excused from gym class and having to be very delicate with their bodies because of the hardware that was in there, because of the treatments they were receiving before. And we just don't have any of that. I mean, her life is, for all intents and purposes, because of that casting, so very normal.
So Allie, do you remember any of that process?
There's some, I remember, it's weird. I remember things like smells and tastes.
Yeah.
And sensations rather than the actual process. I remember rooms. I used to call rooms different colors.
Yeah.
So In the white room.
The white room was the OR. The blue room was pre-op, post-op. The PACU unit. We still have trouble, like when we have to have anything dental or medical related. She's real sensitive to the smell of the mask. Like,
Yeah,
she
I
doesn't
can
really care
remember
for
that. Like, there was one time where I tasted a drink that tasted like the smell, and I had to like throw it away. It was really weird, but I remember those kind of things, like tastes and smells and stuff in rooms.
How much of your life was that? And your mom may have to answer for you on this, but for how many years?
The actual casting, her first one was at about 13 months. And I think we moved to braces around 4. So we had 3 years of casting with, not the first summer, but her second and third summer, we got breaks with bracing. But since we got her right at 13 months, which would have been June, we did a summer with casting. So solid 3 years, every 3 months or so.
And you were traveling how far?
No, we were very lucky. So we are originally from Pennsylvania, right outside of Harrisburg, and the Philadelphia Shriners was a little less than 2 hours from us. So we were super lucky to, in the scheme of things, have it be local.
So when did you notice that something was different and you had to take action?
I want to say it was probably at her 9-month checkup. I had said to her it was the rib hump that we noticed, because at the time, my tiny little house that we lived in, we didn't have a tub. We just had a shower. And so I would bathe her in the kitchen sink, and I was looking down her back, and I was like, this doesn't look right. And our pediatrician, I adore him to this day. He was like, let's hang, let's wait. She was a very, very chubby baby. Think 30 pounds at 9 months old. I mean, she was a hefty
I'm so sorry,
gal.
Allie, about your mom saying that. Moms, right?
The cutest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I remember him saying, like, she may be learning how to hold her weight. I mean, and I was like, okay. And we went back for her 12-year visit. I was like, or 12-month visit. And I said, can you look again? Because it's not quite right. And he took me much more seriously this time. I remember him measuring her legs to see if it was a hip thing. And he sent us across the hall in the medical building for an X-ray. And he didn't really say anything other than, someone will call you later. And I was like, okay. Like, truly, absolutely clueless about what was about to unfold. And the call that we got later that day was from Shriners. He had referred her films to a local orthopedic surgeon, and he was like, I can't touch this. This is too much.
Wow.
And we were at Shriners getting checked or whatever the initial visit was within 2 weeks. And we were off to the races. And even, it wasn't even until I met Heather virtually and really like joined one of our Facebook groups that I understood. Like, nobody said to me, this could be fatal if you wait.
Wow.
No one. I had no idea until Heather really was like, hey, follow me, do this, do these things, and taught me the questions to ask and the things to do and what to look for. I would say Heather and the nurses at the PACU at Philadelphia Shriners, they've become friends.
This person at Shriners says this is kind of out of their league. And is that when you went home and started Googling and looking for answers?
Yeah, I'm a Googler. Anybody will tell you I don't like not knowing things. So I Googled progressive infantile scoliosis, and I found the ISOP website and just kind of went from there. I mean, it was truly my curiosity that I stumbled upon this, because you meet people and they're like, oh yeah, my cousin has scoliosis, and I'm sure they do, but they don't. It's not like this. It's very different, and I really didn't understand the urgency until I really heard the stories of where we were going. At the time, it was Heidi's son as well.
Yep.
And it took a few months to really sink in of what we were facing.
And then by then, it seems like you had some support and some information.
Yeah. I mean, her first cast was within a month of that visit, where the doctor was like, okay. And you go into that and there's a million things going on in your mind, and your baby's about to go under anesthesia, and she's had just learned to walk, and both of my parents came, and her father. And it was the only thing that I could remember was advocate and use the nurses to advocate. And I remember that they had initially not flared it out properly down by her hips. And the doctor, it was, I don't know whether it was a resident. It was not Dr. Cahill. I don't know if I can, I'm so used to not saying doctors' names, Heather. I don't know if I can say them.
If they did it right, they should get some credit, I guess.
Dr. Cahill's wonderful. I would squeeze him so tight if I ever saw him. It was one of the younger doctors, like the residents. He's like, it's okay. It has to be like that. And I'm like, she can't sit up, and it was the nurses going, you need to cut this. Mom says she can't sit up. Listen to mom. So it was that first really like, okay, I've got to advocate, like, because this is new. Like this isn't something that doctors have been doing ever and ever and ever. So it was this unusual combination of a relatively new treatment. I wouldn't call it experimental, but it's still not well known enough. And knowing my kid and what she needed, but also balancing of, I don't want to take too much away from what the cast is doing. But it was the nurses that were like, no, you tell them that what you need. And they were so good. And each time we got better at learning what she needed. And I remember at one point, probably a year or two in, one of the doctors looked at me and he's like, you know what she needs. So tell us. And I was like, okay, this is the partnership that we were looking for.
Excellent.
Yeah, they were wonderful.
And you were ready for that moment. You were ready to share what she needed.
Yeah. And even from a social emotional standpoint, the trauma that she had from that lack of control of having those surgeries, it got to the point where they could not get her back to the OR in any way, shape, or form. She was fighting through the Versed. They couldn't get her calm. So, and I don't want to put them on blast, but they definitely broke protocol and let me carry her back to the OR. So her last few procedures, I sat in a chair in the OR in a bunny suit, with my hair covered, my feet covered, holding her so they could hold the mask on her until she was ready to be, to have her IV. And I've always really appreciated that, because they told me, they're like, not many moms could handle that. And I'm like, well, we have to do this.
Right. There's no choice.
Yeah. So I would much rather have her see me, have me be the last thing she sees before she goes under. And so it was no big deal to me to hold her and say, okay. And little sucker, she'd hold her breath. Like that was going to work.
This is some of the fire that has made her a national champion.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's that determination. But I can't say enough good things eventually about how they built their relationship with us that allowed me to do the things that would get her back there and get her under so that they could apply the casts.
Well, we've spoken to other moms and, talking to people, you see those casts and at first it seems a little medieval. And you're like, I don't want my baby to do that. Did you have that reaction at all?
No, because that was the path forward. And it was more along the lines, the harder part was finding how you work your life around it. And a lot of people will be like, how do you do this? How do you just do it. You just do. If you think too much about if you spend too much time in that space of this looks terrible, it feels terrible, it's not conducive to moving forward.
Right. And that's what you were doing. This is what we're doing.
Yeah. It very much, looking back, I probably could say that I was operating in a space of like trauma of just like one foot in front of the other. Just keep going. But
focus on what needs to be done.
Yeah, and we feel that now. We feel that now because when we have to go to the dentist and we need a filling, it's a big freaking deal for us now.
Yeah.
Not and because of that of
Mhm.
all of the control that was taken from her as a little girl, what should be a relatively routine procedure is not for us, and
Yeah.
that's okay. It's just our life looks different.
I'm gonna call Heather here real quick because she just disappeared, and let's see if I can get her back. What's your dog's name?
This is Sally.
Hey, Sally. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, that's Sally.
All right. Oh, she's back. She's back.
All right, there she is.
Oh, that's okay. I thought you were mad at me or something. Okay. All right. Heather Montoya. Okay, Heather. Hi. Okay, we're back. Sally's the name of the dog. That's what we did while you were gone. Just kind of get to know the dog.
Sally. There's another one out in the corner. That's Teddy.
Oh, Sally and Teddy. Yeah. No, I love that. I love Allie, your arm on the dog. I love my kids are just so used to a dog there. I've seen them put the remote control and drinks on the dog. This very comfortable relationship.
Yep.
Well, and so anyway, Heather, you didn't miss much, but we were talking about just the path forward. Amy knows the path forward, and Heather, where are you in this process? Are you still communicating and connecting and helping guide them along?
Once she got casted, I just watched her get bigger, grow and get bigger and straighter with every single cast. And Amy and I became, personal Facebook friends. So not only did I get to see Allie on the group when she was going through it, but I got to see her living her life and, in kind of a personal, Amy and I were friends. So I got to see a lot. And I've watched this whole cheerleading thing for years.
Yeah.
So it's so special to me.
The beginning, the road of cheerleading. When did you first get into cheerleading? Because you've had to have done this a while.
I started in 2020-ish.
Yeah. We just did tryouts yesterday for season 6. So.
Wow. So you're a fast learner.
She's been lucky to have really good programs and really good team coaches, and they know how to polish and perfect. And she also happens to be insanely strong. Like physically strong, the way she throws these little girls around.
Oh, I love it.
And catches them.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
She's very valued. Her tiny little flyers, they always say, I love when you're my backpack because I know I'll never fall.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That is awesome. So that sounds, I don't know, therapeutic. You just get to throw people and get rewarded.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah.
What year are you in school?
I'm a freshman.
Oh, so there's a lot of Allie. There's a lot. You could do a lot here.
Yeah. Got a couple more years left, and we're going to explore what cheering in college looks like. And yeah.
All the scholarships you might get with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're on your way, young lady. This is it's so.
Have you ever been in a moment where you were maybe doubting yourself, and in that time, did your mom be like, "Oh, girl, you don't know what you've been through. Like, there's nothing you can't do."
Yeah, she always, before I go to warm up or anything, before I go on stage to warm up, before that, she always tells me to do what I know how to do, and it just kind of helps set the bar. It's good.
Yeah, I love you. Good luck. You do control what you can control, and do what you know how to do. Yeah,
to my team. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'll be honest. I'm not sure that she yet still grasps what she's been through.
Mm-hmm.
Because cheer is such an everyday normal thing, and because the treatment was so effective, that looking back, there's days where I have to remind her that she could be at a compromised lung function right now. She could be in a wheelchair right now.
Mm-hmm.
She could not be with us right now. All of those things are very real, and it because the treatment feels so far away and impossible, which is honestly the ultimate goal. of it. It doesn't feel like we could have been there, but we have to remember that we could have.
Yeah, there's some part of you, I'm guessing, that's probably just saying a national cheerleading championship isn't a big deal because what you've already done, whether you remembered or not consciously, was even bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I treat everything like it's gold. I cherish a lot of things because of what I've been through before. So I kind of take all the little things and just like keep them.
Yeah, and people wouldn't guess either. We call them surgeries because it's really hard to describe the procedure of a metacast to your average person who doesn't have background. So when we say that between the casting and the braces and the things would progress slowed in a moment, that she's been through anywhere between 10 to 15 procedures or surgeries, people are like, what? Really? Because she's so she's an athlete, she's living a normal life. So it's, I mean, and again, that's the ultimate goal, is normal life. So
And for people that say it's inhumane, I think your testimonial provided that your testimonial it's amazing. I mean, these kids don't remember it. That's the goal.
No.
It's not
They
a
don't
big dramatic thing because they don't remember it. If it's done early.
And it was challenging and it was scary, but I can't think of a thing that they would call inhumane. Like
inhumane is when you know that casting can cure these patients, but you put them in a brace that they're relegated to their entire childhood, followed by hardware surgery, repeated infections, pain, etc., etc. To me, that is a little inhumane.
Yeah, and casting was a little inconvenient at times. I would call it inconvenient. I'd never call it inhumane. I used to use the little concave diaper changing table pad, and I would put that on our kitchen counter to wash her hair. And then I'd sit her up and we'd do, under her arms and her, her bottom and stuff. Like, that's inconvenient. That's not inhumane. My shins would be scraped up when she would come running at me with her cast to give a toddler mommy hug. That's inconvenient. It's not inhumane. Inhumane would have been living a life of pain and constant,
or just not living,
or just not living.
Yeah, those shin scrapes, those are love scars right there.
Absolutely. But I mean, it made the squishy hugs in those brief cast breaks all the better. I probably annoyed the crap out of her when I would just squeeze her tight.
Amy, have you been able to talk to other moms who are going through what you've been through?
Yeah, here and there. I actually had a friend of mine my best friend in Miami is an ultrasound tech, and she has an in-home ultrasound business, and met a mom whose son was diagnosed with scoliosis, and she gave her my number. She's like, you need to talk to my best friend. She will hook you up. She will send you the groups. And I did. I randomly called this woman in Miami and I said, hey, my name's Amy. This is going to sound crazy, but your son has a very rare condition and my daughter does too. Here's some resources.
You know if she ever got on the group?
I don't. I honestly, she comes up in my people you may know, and I want to reach out to her. I see pictures, and I kind of peeped for a brace or a cast in there, but I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
But you make friends with moms in the group. There's a mom who was also from Pennsylvania that we actually were in Shriners at the same time. And I was like, are you Sherry? And, it was nice to hug somebody that you chat with. And it's such a unique experience that it's really hard it's hard to explain how you have to live to somebody who's not living it. And like I said, people are like, oh, how do you do? You just do.
Yep.
You just do it. I don't know. It was normal for us. So yeah, we did make friends because there's a special bond and a special understanding when you know what it's like when you have to make those decisions. So
friends for life. Like
sure.
I'm talking to like I don't expect I'll ever lose touch with you girls ever.
I
Like,
mean, you're stuck with us.
I'm so glad. Thank you.
And I tell you this all the time, and please know that I mean it. Olivia is alive and well in our home. We talk to her and about her all the time. We remember her on her birthday. We remember her on the day she left us. My parents know her. Like, I'm like, well, Heather and Liv. And they're like, yeah. And she is a part of our household and a part of our conversation because of the work that you guys did. So
Thank you, Amy.
it's not just silly Facebook comments. I mean it, that she will never truly be gone because we talk about her and refer to her all the time.
I don't mean to get emotional, but it means the world to me. So thank you so much.
We love
you so much. I love you too.
I don't know that I would have ever had the knowledge or the wherewithal to go to the ends of the earth to do what you've done. And you did it. Just like people say, how do you do it? You just do it.
You just do it.
Yeah.
You just do it.
This is a cry-friendly podcast, by the way. Totally, I'm
Good, because I'm biting it back.
yeah,
Right
I'm dealing with some stuff. There's pollen. There's a lot of pollen. Anyway,
those allergies.
Liv, I never knew Liv, but I feel like I do too. I feel like I have just spending time with Heather and seeing these pictures of this very strong, beautiful kid.
She's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful girl, and her purpose is, it just continues. It just keeps happening because I don't know how to say it any more eloquently, but her purpose is still out here and it's still affecting people and it's still improving people's lives.